before we get, you have a couple minutes if you'd like to throw something at him.
Not hard.
Yeah, not hard. Jared won't make it, I'm sure you know.
Yeah, how many books this time?
Four. There's one about Lincoln and the other about the Franklins.
I mean, I just basically asked if there was any, actually that grant writing book there was something that we wanted to show you. And you may already be familiar with the stuff anyway.
So would Scott be the
Scott
person
Brennan,
coming?
yeah, he understands all that stuff
Yeah, I
as
do
far as
understand that stuff.
the grant writing and stuff for the fire
So
company.
we send an invitation out to every municipality.
Yes, I had done Senator Schaefer.
Oh, did you?
Schaefer's town, when he, in December, I had been down with him. That's why I didn't go to the one you had up here.
The one,
At the
this
Bells.
is, yeah, but this one.
This one's different than what I got from that one.
Yeah, and it's gonna be newer since December.
Yes, yes. I went to
But we're having one, on the 24th, Monday the 24th, at 1:30 in the afternoon in Schuylkill Haven, Penn State School.
Right, right.
It's just because they gave us the facility to use it.
Yeah.
And the last one we had was at Cabela's.
Right, yeah. Being in outdoor thing.
I'm just making sure
Yeah.
you can have that.
Are you familiar with that publication?
Yes, yes. I know they have one too, that's just the emergency services stuff.
Yeah, okay. But we talked a little bit about the, what we talked about last night and stuff. So, I mean, we're all, it's at the beginning of this whole thing with,
Our biggest problem is apparatus. I mean, what apparatus has come. It's what our biggest thing is.
Fire company?
Yeah, the apparatus.
Yeah.
I mean, here's her too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, how much,
yeah, we're not.
how are you? Okay.
We never proceed.
We've always covered it. But this is the first time ever. Because you don't want to have to come here.
Yeah, you want to say something?
Once a quarter. We'll do once a quarter.
Oh, okay, yeah, the brown shirt.
Oh, they each have a representative.
She's on the agenda, so she's
We're going to sign it on the agenda, so you don't have to talk about it.
But do you have any ability to discuss what's occurring?
Yeah, and just,
I think it would be in our best interest to be, so we can try the board's going to consider this.
at some level.
The board will consider the plan tonight, given the violations, there's no guarantee. So, he'll probably want to make sure it's here. Yeah, and I know he usually.
It just so happened to be his daughter's in Idaho and he
Yeah, I'm in 224.
I know it's not you. I know you're just, I run around, I just don't worry about it. not a big deal, I'm just letting you know that we'll consider it, but I have to weigh in on the situation. Okay? So you're on the agenda, so you don't have to sign it. You can talk when you're.
Oh, yeah. They'll have fun, yeah, that's right.
Okay, well, when it comes up, we'll have to have a little discussion, and then.
Yeah, that was settled because they're gonna fix it. That was settled.
I was hoping not. But I would just wait. I don't know. I have to wait on that.
Well, I don't know what folks are going to do, but I know they have to, I think it had to be done in 90 days. So, and it's probably been. But they have to do both those matches.
Yes.
And then, yeah.
The funny, not funny, the Lions were the next line they cited. Oh, yeah.
And,
Well, I started reading, I was like, oh, that's interesting.
and so.
But yes, I was reading about that.
I'm trying to get through all the matches in the borough, take care of it. But while they have folks,
I'll weigh in.
whether they do it or not, I mean, that's not my call. And they're all in the state road, but there's also one down South 4th Street in that state road. You can grab another chair.
Yeah, no more chairs.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna get started here soon. Yeah, we don't have that many people for public comments, so we'll do Mr. Martin first. And then, like, if there's 3 names on the list, then we'll give, a 10-minute open discussion.
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's get everybody here. Let's get everybody here to throw money in, I think, it might be farm.
Eric and his birthday, you know what I mean?
I won that.
I got on. I don't even turn it on, so it's over.
Yeah, yep.
That's why it might.
All right, we're gonna get started here in a minute, as soon as we get connected. Everybody signs driver's. Yep. You are.
I was like, yes, I did the rings. A few years left, I'm doing something.
All right, good evening, everybody. It's 7 o'clock. We're going to get the July meeting of the Windsor Township Board of Supervisors underway. Before we start, I'd like to invite everybody to stand and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, the first item on the agenda, would someone make a motion to approve the minutes of the June 14th meeting of the board? Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye. Ayes have it. Okay, before we go into public comment, we are honored to have Representative Jamie Barton from the 124th District. He's your state representative in Harrisburg. I'd like to invite him to say a few words, and after he's finished, we're going to open it up. If anybody has any questions for him, we're going to open it up for 10 minutes. That the public can ask him any questions. If there's anybody else that doesn't get a chance to talk to him, we invite you to step out into the lobby. He's more than willing to step out there and you can air your concerns or anything like that. We feel 10 minutes is enough to get things started with Mr. Barton, and then we're going to get back to the business of getting the meeting over because we have a pretty good agenda tonight. All right, Mr. Barton?
Sure,
you
is
have the
this where
floor.
you speak from? Is this all
Yes,
right?
yeah, the microphone's up in this, above you, actually.
Okay,
Yep.
super.
Yeah,
Hi, everybody. My name's Jamie Barton. I am the state representative here. And thank you for allowing me to speak. I will be brief and allow you to ask me any questions you want. I want to make sure that you know, first of all, that I have an office in Hamburg at the borough office right on 3rd Street, across from the post office. Also have an office in Tamaqua, and of course an office in Harrisburg as well. So I think one of the things most need to know about me is that I'm available. You can reach out to me. I'm easy to get in touch with. I apologize. This is the first time I've been to this township meeting. I have been invited here prior to. Some other folks have invited me here. I just haven't been able to get here till now. And I'm about 7 months under my belt as a state representative, so I don't know a whole lot. But I've been in business for about 35 years in the energy business. I feel confident that I'll be able to continue to work on your best behalf, and I'm here to serve. I think that's what you need to know, is I'm here to serve all of you, the community, and that's why I'm here tonight. So I don't have any agenda. I just wanted to introduce myself to all of you and let you know, and then find out what's going on. I keep abreast of some of the things that are going on. Most common issues are solar panels and warehouses. And I know that, and I don't have an answer for everything. I will also share with you, I think this is important to know, I am on 4 committees. I'm on, and I didn't get to pick them, but there's one I really fought for, and I just got it on Friday, and I'm proud to say I got selected to the, I'm sorry to have my back to you, the ER&E, which is Environmental Resources and Energy. My background's in the coal business, in the oil business, in heating oil, diesel fuel, gasoline, anthracite coal, and electricity. We get 2 coal-fired power plants in Schuylkill County as well. So I'm happy to be on that. So ER&E is what I just got put on Friday. I'm on the tourism. Again, I didn't pick it. That's what got sent to me. But we do have Hawk Mountain, which is in our district. And bringing people into our communities is something that I like to do as well. I'm on... they changed it. It's community housing and development. It's basically city living in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Why they put me on it, I have no idea. But again, we didn't get to pick it. And I'm on state government also. So those are the 4 committees I'm on. But I can help in any. While I won't profess to know everything, I can help in any situ, and I will offer my help as well. So certainly open it up to questions now. And I don't want to take up too much time either.
Yeah, I talked to Mr. Barton for an hour prior to this meeting and that stuff. I don't know if there was anything else that anybody on the board or anybody had to question him on. The public has the floor. If you guys want to, Mr. Barton can call on you. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that for him,
Sure.
you have the opportunity.
Where do we stand on school property tax?
Yeah. So right about where you were before for the last 10 years. And I don't mean to joke about that. I'm not joking. I'm not happy about that at all. I've added amendments to multiple bills. Anytime they're trying to take money for amendment on, let's put it towards property taxes right away. And that's not the answer, but I need to keep in everybody's head that school property taxes are not okay, particularly as we get older. I regretfully tell you that it's not something. I will also tell you that the other Berks County contingency, so that's going to be Dave Maloney, Representative Maloney. He's and he's been there a long time. Representative Mark Gillen. Representative Dave Zimmerman has a little bit of Berks County as well. Myself and Barry Jasweb all are working on property tax. We're hardcore property tax people, and likewise the people in Schuylkill County that I'm part of that also. So I don't have a good answer for you, but you have to know that that's something that's
It's not talked about enough.
It's loud and clear to me. Yeah, I talk about it a lot, and so do those other people I just mentioned.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I seen school tax reform many years ago, and I think the holdouts were the representatives from Philadelphia and Pittsburgh area.
No, you're
Because
absolutely.
whenever they want money, they just put their hands out and state seems to give them money.
Yeah, and let me just tell you this, that if it was easy, it would be done. It's not easy, because it's easy, what's easy to say is, all right, let's stop school property tax. Now where are we gonna get the money to fund public
But
schools?
there was a plan.
Right, yeah.
I mean, the
And it's
Republican
to
Party
increase
put up-
sales tax and increase income tax,
Right,
right?
which is fair, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's one person's opinion, right?
It was four votes shy, because Dave Argo was
Do you
one of
remember
the.
what year that was? It's
Well,
been a while.
I think it was probably about four, yeah.
I think it was longer than
It wasn't that long ago.
It was Senate Bill 76, I didn't
Yes.
know that.
Right.
Yep.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Other than property tax that you're elected for,
So.
what are your personal goal to accomplish?
Sure, thank you. So first of all, my biggest background is in energy. So if we can decrease the price of it, Pennsylvania is the #2 energy resource, natural resource in the United States of America. Second only to Texas. People say we could be the next Texas. The heck with Texas, we're Pennsylvania. I'm proud of that, and I think everybody else here is too. So what we need to do is embrace that, lower the price of energy, and maybe that's the way we get money for school tax. I don't know. So lowering the price of energy for all of us is one thing. That attracts business. I also would like to attract business into the state too. And I had this conversation with Vreeland. I hope you don't mind me saying this, but you know, I'm pro-business. So when we see people, businesses coming in to Berks and Schuylkill and the 124th in Pennsylvania, quite frankly, I get excited about that. When we start putting concrete on fertile farmland, I think that's a bad idea. But that's just my personal opinion also. So I think growth in business will do a lot for us. The other thing is, and I'm just going to be very candid with you, if that's okay. There are 102, and I don't mean to sound political, I really don't, but there are 102 Democrats in the House of Representatives. There's 203 of us, okay, representatives. There are 102 Democrats, and there are 101 Republicans, okay? So when there is something that is very party line voting, okay, it's all against the other, and there's not a lot you can get done. And I don't have a defeatist attitude. So what can I do to answer your question? I can be at meetings like this. I can be in my district working. No one will outwork me. I've been going around to all over the 124th. People on social media that follow me say, how do you do it? And I'm not boasting, please. It's just, it's what I really like to do, is help people. My background's in community service. I'm a lay pastor at my church. It doesn't make me better than anybody, smarter than anybody else, but I like to give back, and this is the way I can do it. I like to serve. So that probably serving locally here more so than making a difference in Harrisburg, because of those numbers I just told you about, is where I believe I can help.
Did you know prior to the day you were coming here? Just curious.
We set this up.
It might have been yesterday.
Yeah, he actually reached out to us, and we were gonna do a phone conference, but I invited him here to the meeting, you know, at 6 o'clock, because he wanted to bring some issues up, and we wanted to bring some issues up to him as well, and that stuff.
I'm just
So
curious
it was
why-
done at the last minute.
Right, why it wasn't advertised that he's going to be
Yeah,
here.
it was all done at the last
So the
minute.
community would know if they did have questions, they could be here to talk to them.
And that's,
But-
go ahead.
But beside that, I came in a little bit early into the meeting. I heard a little conversation about the Kirshner Creek. And could you enlighten the people on a little bit of what you had discussed with the...
Karcher Creek, I call it Karcher, so if I'm saying it wrong, somebody smack me. And if Vreeland, you're saying it wrong, then shame on you. So Karcher Creek, natural resource here as I was doing my job in Harrisburg, and they said, when I Creek, and I said, okay. Soccer field there, and it's beautiful. It's because the county pulled out. You guys probably all know the history. I won't bore you with it. And somebody hit me when it's 10 minutes. We're probably there. They found battery casings there, right? County pulled out of it. The lease is zero. The Fish and Boat Commission wants no money for it. but the county says, hey, we don't want the liability. You hold us and indemnify us from anything happening. State's not going to indemnify anybody. What they do have is a letter from DEP saying it's clean. So what the hope was that we'd be able to now say, okay, this property's clean, let's open it up for a park. The county is still insisting on indemnification from the state. The state's not going to do that. The state's not going to do that. I don't know why, but they just don't do it, and they made it clear to me that they won't do it. The county's made it clear, and I said, well, then I'm going to go talk to Windsor Township, and I'll talk to Hamburg, and I'll talk to, quite frankly, anybody, and I was just trying to say, I'm not forcing this on anybody. I just think, my goodness, what a great opportunity. But DCNR is the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. We'll help you with grants and money to get this place going. Right, there was people had weddings there. Again, you folks probably know more about it than I do for sure. So Fish and Boat is saying, hey, we can help with some things. Excuse me. There's areas that we can delineate and keep away from this area where those batting and say, all right, do. For a wedding, could you, include the hamburger festival there? Do something there too. I don't on the fishing road. There's all sorts of great things there, and it doesn't necessarily have to be. It's just a beautiful facility that the county is saying they're not going to do. It is in your municipality here in Windsor, and so I just thought that's why that was one of the reasons.
And he reached out to us.
And
never got finalized until 2 days
yeah.
ago.
So and just I'll take full accountability for not letting everybody know because I've been trying to get to other municipalities and I keep a pretty full schedule. So I was with the governor today at another park. He was in Barnesville, in Schuylkill County, and so was Secretary Dunn, who's the Secretary of DCNR. And I told her that I was coming here tonight, and she said, anything I can do to help that, I want to help it. So, which that means is money. So they can give money to help that. Now, that's not going to be money to mow grass, right? That's not going to be, but it'd be money to maybe revitalize it and make nice restrooms and nice, a hall or something like that. I don't know what those buildings are. I wasn't in them, but. So that's why I came here tonight, and I did not give anybody a chance to advertise it. It was just I was trying to get to everybody. So, sir.
I do not understand. The county built it, but now it's the township's responsibility to mow and
It's
all
no
that?
one's responsibility. It's
So you just let it go?
The state,
really bad.
I agree. It's the state owns it. Okay. The state owns it, and the state leased it to the county. When they found those battery casings, that's when the county said, hey, we and I understand that, right? The county said, we don't want this, so they left. Now the casings are cleaned up, and there's some people that are going to not argue, but tell me that, hey, they're still there. Okay, so I was just, if you don't mind, if this is the whole area right here, when the battery casings are over here, we'll put a fence around that area and cut it off. I mean, I don't have all the answers, but let's get creative. Let's make a nice park for everybody to use. The other piece is there is one Pro Bass, one Cabela's in the entire United States of America that does not have a pond. Guess which one? Now, do you think they would pay some money to use that? I'm pretty confident they would. So they've talked about donating mowers or something like that, but maybe they would want to do fishing lure, have fishing. Well, not even rodeos, but sales, like a sales seminar to, they do safe guns. I did a concealed carry, but they do all sorts of training and not only that, for boating too, kayaking and canoeing, and just an opportunity to, could we think outside the box maybe and utilize that? And again, I just think it's a beautiful place for the community. Sir?
What?
One more
What are they
question.
gonna do with the old Hamburg Center?
Yeah, I don't know that answer either.
It's been empty for years now.
It is. I'll tell you that one of the things that I've suggested is, boy, I'd love to see, we need more trade schools. We need trades. I don't know if any of you are tradesmen in here. I have an HVAC company, and you know, anybody needs an electrician. I'm not one. I've got buzzed enough times to tell you that I never will be one either. But it's tough to find tradespeople, and the one thing about public education and education in general is it's not one size fits all, and we need to recognize that as a society, that not everybody needs to go to college. And my goodness, what a great facility over there. So I don't have an answer for you, and I haven't looked into it. I would just tell you that's something that I thought would be really, I think it's something we need, and a facility that we have
I know
available.
at one time they talked about a VA.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. I will. I am going to write a note on it today because I have not followed up on it. Yes.
All right.
That whole place was renovated to VA standards, 'cause I worked there for 20 years.
Oh, is that right?
And the blueprints said Hamburg VA Hospital on them. And then right after that, well, it wasn't long after that, but they closed it down.
So I don't want to hold up this meeting, but I'll sit out in the hallway for a while. Anybody that would like to talk to me, please come out and see me, and I don't want to miss it. And the other thing you need to know is I'm available to you, so please don't, I mean that. If anybody has any questions that I can help you with, I'm here for you on anything. And while you obviously just saw I don't have a lot of answers, I'll find them out. So, and do my best to help everybody. Okay? Thank you all.
Thank you very much. I know you've been getting around because I've heard that you've been to other townships and that kind of stuff, and I appreciate you taking the time to come here and talk with the people and that. Borough Hall is where he has his local.
And I'll stay out here in case, I don't want to slow up the meeting.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to move on with the meeting. Now we're going to go into public comments. First up is Joe Phillips.
I don't know if this is a comment or not. I would like to talk to the township, whoever it may concern. I don't know if this is the right meeting for it or not, but I'd like to put up a cattle barn on my farm, and I'd like to request some waivers for stormwater management reduction.
That would have to go through the planning commission.
It's where we would need at least a sketch plan.
Yeah, sketch plan.
And then that would need to be, an application needs to be filed, and then the next planning commission meeting is in August.
The plan was I have looked at it
Okay.
and sent something back to my head.
August 15th.
Thank you. August 15th.
So is that, I should bring it to the planning commission meeting on the 15th?
Yes. Do you have an application, Craig?
Not here, they,
Yeah. I can send you one.
yeah.
I'll make it. I'll get some information for you. Brian's the zoning officer, so that's really who you need to talk to. Let me help you.
Is that all you needed then, Joe?
That's all I need.
All right, thank you. All right. All right, next up, we have Laura, and I botched her last name last time, and I'll botch it again. I apologize.
Can you just say Laura P?
Laura P. All right, thank you.
Okay, I'm speaking on behalf of the Windsor, Berks concerned citizens. First of all, we want to thank you all and the Planning Commission for listening to our concerns, both last month and tonight. We are all neighbors here. We're all residents of Windsor Township. We all care about our surroundings and how our resources are used. In addition, as neighbors, and many among us are friends, we want to work with you, not against you. We want to support your endeavors as they relate to our township and hope that you will support us as well. We're all in this together. And again, we prefer to work with you, not against you. We remain concerned about the proposed 50 megawatt solar farm proposed on 2 parcels of land here in Windsor Township, involving almost 500 acres of land. We repeat concern expressed at the Planning Commission meeting that the amount of impervious surface created by the proposed project must meet the 20% limit on both parcels, each parcel considered separately. It would be inconsistent with our ordinances to calculate the total impervious surface over multiple parcels. Solar panels are non-porous structures, meaning water cannot pass through them. Rainwater will run off every panel into a concentrated area underneath the bottom side of a panel and cause concentrated erosion. It is similar to a trough created by rain draining off of a roof without a rain gutter. We recommend that the solar panels be considered impervious with respect to stormwater per our zoning ordinance, section 616J. We understand that rainfall runoff is inevitable from any substantial rainfall, but it is far worse on sloping lands. The proposed solar project will be built on sloping lands. Heavy rains are not unusual during summer and can be quite substantial, as we recently experienced. Excessive runoff can damage nearby riparian areas and wetlands with excess erosion and sedimentation. Excess runoff will increase risk of flood within the FEMA floodplain. These concerns are even greater during the construction phase. Many of us observed the flooding and erosion that occurred on the construction of a smaller 100-acre solar utility project being built on farmland near Fleetwood, and that land is relatively flat. We believe the developer needs to provide a collection and conveyance system for rainwater runoff from the project and manage it using the same practices applied to buildings and parking lots, for example, in a way consistent with our stormwater management ordinance. Section 615P says the township may request to see the emergency response plan. The township needs to request this emergency response plan, as this affects all of us. We need to know what the plan is if a fire or other emergency were to occur during construction while the solar farm is operational or during the decommissioning. Safety has to be top priority. Per the township's definition of impervious coverage in our ordinance, the proposed solar farm has to have the runoff coefficient determined for each lot. The lots cannot be combined into one. Note that one of the properties has 26% impervious coverage, exceeding the ordinance limit. If the application does not meet the requirements, it is your duty to vote no. Decommissioning costs are also a major concern. These costs may be very high. The township must demand a high bond amount to satisfy Section 615O and protect its interests. The township needs to have in writing the company's decommissioning plan showing how they remove everything and restore it back to agricultural land within the required 90-day time frame. To satisfy Section 615N, a proper glare study must be conducted. You cannot do that without having the exact specifications of the panels and their orientation on the site. Glare could pose a serious risk to drivers, especially school bus drivers, specifically on Sunday Road. The solar company must submit a land development plan which needs to meet the Windsor Township subdivision and land development ordinance as amended per Section 615S. However, many questions remain unanswered before we should proceed to this step. So thank you again. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hearing our concerns. And did you want a copy of?
If you wouldn't mind, sure. And those are all good points that will have to be addressed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay, and that's it for public comment for the night. You all taken care of there?
Yeah, I believe so. Russell, I'll take to the meeting. Okay.
Okay. All right, then we're going to move on to reports, the financial status.
Hopefully you can hear me. I have to excuse my voice, but just to make this a quick summary, if you have gotten a handout, the last 2 pages in the handout that's there shows the status of the township financially as of today. Again, the main source of income for the township is under taxes, line item 310.21, earned income tax. There you take notice that that now involves 7 months' income. That is actually above budget. That's the major source of income for the township. A good reflection of the working equality, the working people in Windsor Township. Total income received as of today in all accounts is $580,009.37. Last page shows the expenses. Again, the major expenses for the township involve the road work. That is just commencing this summer, so that is not reflected there. And because of that, you notice that the total expenditures as of today, $349,808. I guess I should have said this under income. Again, you notice the amount of interest received, $5,347. Paid out too.
All right, any other comment? All right, thank you very much.
Yep.
All right, zoning officer, Mr. Westner.
Yes, I'm sure you received my report. I had a few issues. Do you have any questions on it, on those listed? I have a few items here.
Try and find it quick.
Is it a violation or is it a citation?
Any, that farm was out on Baldhazer Road that had all the dogs barking?
He has contacted me, the owner,
Okay,
and we are working to resolve that matter.
okay.
Yeah, the dogs barking and the animals over the acreage limit.
Yeah.
So we put up a fence that you can't see in now. So we drape something over the fence so you can't see in. So maybe if the dogs can't see out, maybe they won't bark.
I haven't heard anything from the gentleman that complained to me initially.
I haven't received
Since
any
then.
more phone calls since a little while ago about
Okay.
it, since I went out there and sent more letters. But he said he was working to meet the standards, and the 30 days from that letter would be like mid-July. So that's when I would write the citation if it was continuing. So it'd be about another week yet.
Okay, well, maybe no news is good news.
I'm hoping that it resolves itself, so.
Yeah, okay, all right. Deb, any further comment? No? All right, thank you. All right, next, engineer and SEO, Mr. Unger.
Okay, gave you a copy of the SEO activity report. There was no activity for the month, so there's nothing to report. Under engineering, the road project, we held the pre-construction meeting. Been coordinating with Ben, and that work is scheduled, I believe, start next week, Ben?
Monday.
Monday if the weather holds.
HEK is coming in Monday?
If the weather holds, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
it'll be, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they're gonna be started.
Because I know there was a time it was gonna get tight with AMS having to start PennDOT. So it's gonna be tar and chip shortly after it's
AMS is coming
patched.
Thursday, Friday, because if not, we have to wait till middle of September. So,
Yeah, we don't wanna do that because of school.
yeah. So, I said, I talked with Neil then, if he can just do, if they can get in here and just do those 2 roads,
Right.
and then they just have to come back if they can't do it, but we need those 2 roads done so the oil and chip can come in, so,
Sounds like it is being coordinated.
yeah, so.
Hopefully the weather holds.
The plan is Monday.
Yeah. Or that could change quick, right?
Yep.
Okay. Is that all you have?
Yes, sir.
Any comments? All right, thank you. All right, Roadmaster, what do you have for us, Ben?
Well, it's been a busy month. We did do pipe replacements, 8 so far. We got 4 to go yet. I was gonna only do 3, but now another one popped up with this flooding and heavy rain we had over the weekend. So we're gonna do 4 more then. Hope, as of now, we're planning the last week of July to do those 4. Got the quotes for the first 8 to re-blacktop. We got a quote from Dick Wessner for $9,000 and Kenneth Reppert for $84.50.
Are you gonna squeeze in Jeff Becker's?
That's not on this one, that's on the next one. So,
Oh, on the second?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm sure
I had it
you see me
written-
drive by and I'm waiting for him to wave me down.
I had it written down and we kind of got rushed to get the bids in and I forgot to mention it. But I did mention it to him that we're gonna have more work yet, so.
Okay.
So, but that's just to do those 8 pipe areas for now.
And when are you looking at doing that?
First.
After the paving's done and that,
First week of August,
then you have line painting going at that time?
well, we're gonna try to get the line painting in and then do these or flip-flop, depending on the weather, how they work. If the weather messed up the line painting and they get pushed back, so.
So we'll need that in form of a motion to give the job to Kenny Reppert. Any comment?
No.
Well, I'd like to make that motion. I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. And that, what was the amount on Kenny Reppert's? 84?
$8,450.
Okay, and that's based on the first phase.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we ran out of operator time to get the other ones done.
Okay.
So, the other stuff I had was H&K coming to do the blacktop 17th and 18th, AMS the 20th and 21st, which now I have Tim the sweeper scheduled for the 17th and 18th to sweep our roads, so the line painting, because he was busy the last week of July, which we were planning on doing those pipes anyway, so we're gonna get him in the 17th and 18th, and then line painting hopefully the first week of August.
Is that water gonna be an issue on Kohler Hill? Like right across from Jeff Pickles?
It depends. It shouldn't be, but
That's something I was waiting to run into Jeff to see if he wants to fix that problem, because the water's coming out of his field and across the road, and this past winter, it was a major problem. Now, he was a landscaper, and he's a farmer, and that's pretty much what he's doing now, farming. If he would be willing to fix it.
he made it worse by putting those millings in there.
Yeah, it actually,
That's what's
it does,
kicking
the
more
water,
out.
there's a pipe there, but where he has his driveway, he built up the driveway and now the water doesn't get to the pipe. It comes across the road. We can approach him and see if he's willing to fix it, and if not, it's gonna have to get taken care of, but now there, with all that heavy rain we had, it's running across the road and it
He
did this
built up
winter.
his driveway recently?
It's a farm lane.
Yeah, it's a farm lane going up
Going up
into
to
his
his
field.
field. so.
But there is a pipe there on the lower side of it that will catch the water, it just has to be channeled to that pipe rather than coming out onto the road.
He has to put a swale in the
Yeah.
milling so it flows through.
Flows there.
So, I mean, we can ask him if he's willing to take care of it, and if not, we're gonna have to do it. But is the water gonna be an issue for you, because you're gonna paint that road, right?
Yeah. Well, it'd be at that spot.
Were you gonna do the white lines there, on Kohler Hill?
Yes.
I know they're there now.
Yeah. Because then we just have to go out and, if it is flowing, dam it up and then dry it off.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of stone there, we're just
Yeah,
about
yeah.
across the
Yeah,
street from the
wash out.
driveway, yeah.
So-
You'll get that with the sweeper
Yeah,
though.
yeah. And as long as none other washes out, but
Yeah,
that little bit we can take care of.
okay.
The townships re-registered again to spray weeds, we got that confirmation, so we're good to the end of the year.
Well, thanks for doing all that, I appreciate it.
At this rate, we probably won't get anything sprayed this year, just because everything else is going on, so.
It's a busy summer.
Yep. Something else that came up now too, up at 786 Sunday Road. We were looking at it when we were discussing it because there's a pipe that we replaced there. The lane kind of sank in, so we were talking with him. Kenny Reppert's paver's not operational right now. So I said something to John Wessner. He said he could scratch code it for them to go down and get the blacktop, come up, scratch that, and also a 300-foot section up on Hess Road. He would do it for $2,500 and whatever it tracks where the blacktop goes. So he's going to start on Sunday build that lane up. It's approximately 200 foot long, and then go up on Hess and scratch the rest of the loop. So he said it'd be about $2,000 of blacktop, and then $2,500 for them to come in with the blacktopper and do that. But
Then we're gonna buy the blacktop.
yeah, so he said the township would buy the blacktop, so he said it'd be roughly $2,000 from us and $2,500 for him. But I did ask Kenny, but he said their paper was broke.
Well, that way they each get a little bit of work. What do you
I
think?
think.
But that'll be before school starts.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm gonna
Yeah.
say.
Well, yeah, whenever they can get it. I mean, because he always has trouble getting help.
That's just normal road maintenance.
Yeah.
Just to
Yep.
So,
Yeah, set that up at your convenience.
and then I got site issues. I've been getting calls for the corn again at Dunn and Chappelle Road. They planted the corn out too far. And now they can't see to pull out there. And I know 2 years ago we were in the same issue, and I don't remember what happened, but the farmer cut it down. We did not touch it. So I don't know if we sent them a letter the last time.
We can again, it's clear so.
Yeah, I don't remember what we did there.
I mean,
Because
we
it's every other
plant
year.
corn and we plant corn, we can't plant to a certain, I mean, that's just the way it is. Do you want to send a
Good.
letter?
Yeah, do
What's
you have
the-
the
what-
address?
what's the
Or
address for
farmer
that?
or?
Neil Hall.
Yeah, I was gonna say Neil Hoffman's the
I know, I don't know the address.
He's on
actually
Chappelle Road
He's on
there.
Chappelle Road.
I can get you the address, so.
I just texted him.
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you, man.
Yeah. And then also, the tree there at the intersection of Old 22 and Valley Road. The tree is back off of the right of way, but everything's hanging out. It's also hanging on Valley Road also.
And that's that big one on the corner.
Yep.
Do we want to send a notice to them about it, getting it trimmed?
Because did somebody else move in that house? Because
That I don't know.
I don't see the usual lady there. That's
No, they did, yeah.
Did they?
Can you also get that address for
Yeah.
for Brian?
Yeah. And then,
Oh, yeah, they did something.
also at Crook Lane and Windsor Castle Road. Where'd he go? He ran away.
He's not here. What's
He
the
ran away.
problem then?
You can speak for him, Polly.
Yes, I will, go ahead.
They can't see pulling out there because of the brush and the fence and everything there.
So Windsor Castle Road needs trimming or,
Well, Windsor Castle Road needs the trimming.
do you know I can't reach that? It's up the bank.
Well, you gotta go in the field to get it. That's-
So can I cut it down and it falls in the road?
As long as it's in their gutter. So it washes down and clogs
I
up.
was trimming that. I need a bigger chainsaw.
Well, but no, I'm
Don't
getting-
send a letter, I heard.
I'm getting
I got
complaints
you.
about it. It's 1070 Windsor Castle.
Stop.
That address I know.
Well, that's
Or
it.
should I go up to 1163?
No, that's the same place. Still me.
No, but I'm just saying. We'll see what-
Alright. You'll see me with my chainsaw.
Hopefully I don't see you laying in the gutter. See you up there.
I want to see Bruce with the chainsaw.
What's that?
I want to see Bruce with the chainsaw, not you.
Yeah, okay.
And then since Friday, this field across the street here is making a mess of the neighborhood and stuff. We got people complaining in Kingsgate because whatever he did up at the top corner there, he must have created a dam, and Friday afternoon it broke. It went out through the side yard, down through the front yards, all the way down Independence Drive, across Constitution.
Is that
down
part
the
of
street.
Tony Schappel's son's the Christmas tree farm or what? Is
No,
that the field?
no, it's this one right here.
Field right
Josh,
here.
Josh is the soybean field right across the street here.
That was the
Oh,
phone calls I received.
okay.
And it also come here around the two houses
Yeah, I
and the
see a lot of
garage
blood
here.
down there.
It washed out the guy's driveway down at the old Christmas tree driveway there. And stuff. It washed out on Windsor Castle Road. He had topsoil all over the place.
I think it actually blocked up that one drain.
It did, but he was nice. He came out on his own and tried to scrape the mud off, but the pipe up here is clogged full with his topsoil. And now the last 2 days, he's over here cultivating the beans again, staking up the dirt. So I know it's organic and stuff, but
Yeah, but now that mud is in our pipe.
yes. And on our road and washing out the properties over here because he took down the trees and everything up the back here too, and that's why it came down. So I don't know if we could do anything about it, but
Russell, do you think maybe we need to send him a letter?
We could. Yeah, we gotta.
all
Conservation district.
the soil that washed away because it's just ruts. So
But there's a protection.
I know
We have to,
there's
because
something there.
with our potato fields, we do the same thing and we get a lot of runoff, and I know when they come out, my uncles just goes through this. I think we can look into it, we could contact the conservation district and see what they'll say about it.
Because I know we
can
did
put it
have the
down.
heavy rain, but he worked that until it was dust powder, and he's been in there cultivating, just keeping it loose, and it just
What's
washed.
he said he's growing beans?
He's growing
Soybeans.
organic soybeans. So he's in cultivate. Yes, he had to be planted with corn planters, so he can cultivate, so he don't have to spray the weeds.
We can contact the conservation district and see what they say. That's,
All he had to do is leave some strips in there.
this is the farm field across the street.
Yeah, Josh Zimmerman, the one with the chicken
Yeah.
houses up there. Yeah. I said something to him, he's like, yeah, it washed. Well, I understand we had the heavy rain and stuff, but it's a little excessive.
Yeah, especially if it's down here in the intersection.
Yeah, because PennDOT was even down here trying to clean some up yesterday.
Yeah.
So, and I think they did look at their drain, because it did block their drain up right around the turn down here. And stuff, it washed out the field there, the driveway and stuff. One of the issues we did have, we were watching the pipe at 128 Lowell Road. It's right on the turn there at the bottom of the hill. That was one of the pipes we were watching. Now with this rain, it actually pushed the blacktop up. And now the water is starting to go next to the pipe. So I want to replace that now. So before we had 3, now we're going to have 4 pipes to replace for the second round. And stuff. So that one I'm going to have to get pipe for. That's three sections of pipe. So, but that was really the only damage we had from this heavy rain. We had 2 trees down and a lot of stone washed on the roads, but and besides this was the worst area with the mud and stuff. But
I thought for sure
we
we'd
got
lose
out
all the
lucky
trees.
and stuff. It didn't get windy yet. Once it gets windy, then they'll fall down.
Yeah.
But as of now, we got lucky.
That it?
Yep.
That's all. Any other comment? No? All right, thank you, Ben.
Yep.
The park. We had a little excitement yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that I did get the kitchen sink drains fixed.
Okay.
And stuff. That was the only thing I got on that list done.
Yeah, we'll talk about the mower in executive session, because it'll be a personal thing with one of our workers.
Do you just wanna say what happened or?
Well, in case people didn't hear, we had our lawnmower caught on fire yesterday at the park. And it's pretty much scrap metal.
Yeah.
But we're insured for it. But, we'll discuss it in executive session with Dave, because he was the operator. All right.
Wanted a new mower.
Yeah.
So,
Anything else on the park that you know of?
I didn't get anything else on the list.
Well, yeah,
So,
we got a lot going on this summer.
which a lot of that is off-season working for
Yeah.
painting and stuff, so.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much again. All right, next up, solicitor, Mr. Farbiars.
So everything I have is on the agenda. I don't know if you want me to just jump down and do it, or if you want me to wait.
You can jump down and do it. Well, I'll tell you what, yeah, which ones are you gonna do?
Port Clinton Avenue, Blue Heron, and Mountain Trail Solar. So do you want to just start going?
Yeah, go ahead and do it that way, because I think we have somebody from Blue Heron here as well, so we'll get to her quicker.
So Port Clinton Avenue, I let you know this before, but I did let both Hamburg Borough and West Brunswick Township know that we were going to proceed with the weight limit without their participation. Tom, have you had a chance to start the traffic study on that?
I did not.
Okay.
Could we get that for next month?
Yep, get started. Okay.
Yep. Thank
So
you.
that's the next step, because we need a traffic study
Yep.
on that. Blue Heron. Well, actually, I'll say on Ron's, I haven't heard anything from them. I don't know if anyone else on the board has in the last month. but
Well, we had talked about, the amount of traffic that's gonna come out there, and Steve Hoffman made it, just said that that's gonna be all covered under the HOP
Yeah.
permit through PennDOT, since they're both PennDOT roads, state roads. So they're gonna have to address that issue, and we really can't do anything until that's done.
Okay, so it's still in a holding pattern.
Did you have something?
No, no.
Kircher Creek Townhouses, I don't know that there's any, I don't have anything on that. I think that can probably come off the agenda. Because that was just that we wanted Tom to look at the security amount, but he reported on that, I think, 2 months ago. That was sufficient. Blue Heron, I'm gonna turn it over to Ryan, at least to start, and then I can speak to some of the issues. So, in my report, one of the issues I had was about Blue Heron Village. I received a complaint that the property was not being used as intended. After doing an investigation, I came up with a lot of evidence that would support that there was single-family homes being converted into 3-unit apartments. I did another stop work order. It's about my 6th in 3 months out there. And the short-term rental ordinance isn't being followed, if that's what they're intending to use it for. And they're also not following the conditions and the conditional use that the plan is being proposed. And that was all gathered through an investigation that I also found online with advertisements, which I can provide through an email that I printed out. And so from a legal perspective, the conditions would be treated the same as a zoning ordinance. So I believe, Ryan, you've issued notices of violation.
I have.
So, and when is the time for compliance up on those?
The time would be 30 days from the date I received the certified back.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't have that date. I can get it back to an email.
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. So at this point, you know, I think that it would be likely in the board's best interest to have those issues resolved before you approve a plan. Or the alternative, you could conditionally approve the final plan, conditioned on them coming into compliance with the conditional use and resolving all of the outstanding violations. Those would be what I would see as the two options at this point, because clearly the property is in violation on multiple fronts. So I do think that, and our ordinance does have a provision that allows you to not, essentially not issue any further approvals if it's in violation.
How do we keep this from happening again? Because we had talked about this in the past. It became an issue with them doing work, not getting a permit. We go out there, send somebody out there to see what's going on. The next day he gets the permit, correct?
My worry is we've been out there multiple times about stop work orders, and now it's gone. You have a 3-unit apartment out there for single family home living, which needs to be inspected through a different building code with firewalls and all that, that's not being followed. So now we have life safety features that are major issues because this man refuses to get permits. I just strongly think this should not even be considered until he starts Absolutely. We don't do anything until that's taken care of.
Yeah, and I think Mr. Zimmerman, when he can, needs to contact me, and we need to walk through the property to make all these actions correct. That's what I'm suggesting. And fix this violation.
Craig, do you know what the time limit is
What, for,
for the approval? So we don't want a deemed approval. So
yeah.
what is our
I'd have to look it up. I don't.
I mean, that's my only, the only concern that I would have is.
It wasn't in that email that that the engineer sent.
It's not readily available.
I'd have to check it with the thing.
Okay. That's right. That's right. That's right. The board has already. That's why. I think the board should add a condition to that conditional approval, and I think that conditional that condition should be that the property must come in full compliance with the relief granted by the conditional use, as well as resolve any current violations of the conditional use or of the to the satisfaction of the zoning officer and the solicitor. Would you agree with that, Ryan?
I do. Can we put a time frame on that, any chance? For him to start complying? To see permits?
What time frame do you want?
30 days?
Can do it. I mean, what are we gonna do if he doesn't comply, though? You know.
I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Because essentially, he's not gonna get his approval until he does these things.
True, he has to do them anyway, you're right, no.
Yeah, so I don't know that putting a time limit.
I was just trying to stay in the time limit with my violation, that's all. That's
No, I think you're gonna continue, you're gonna have to continue along, and I
Okay.
imagine you'll eventually have to cite him.
That's fine.
Any comment?
No.
No?
I'd like to make a motion that we follow through with all the conditions listed by the solicitor.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Ayes have it.
Did you second it or did
I second it. Yeah. Okay.
And then the next thing I wanted to discuss is Mountain Trail Solar. So as I'm sure everyone is aware, the Planning Commission has made their recommendation, to the board to not grant the application. The next step in the process is that the board needs to schedule a hearing on the conditional use. I believe that this is not a one-night hearing. I don't believe that this is a hearing that we should do on a board night. I think that we may even consider scheduling 2 or 3 evenings, perhaps consecutively, so that we can try to get through it with some quickness, and that may not even be enough, but I don't know. There's a lot of issues to be addressed. There's obviously comments from the public, and we want to make sure we have as much time as we need. You also should have, or I did forward to the secretary earlier today, an extension letter until September 30th.
31st. Or, wait a minute. Did it say August?
There were 2. I sent one last night, and then I got another one today.
August 31st, August.
There was a second one I sent earlier today to September 30th.
Okay.
So this one is, okay.
Yeah.
September
Okay.
30th.
So the board just needs to vote to acknowledge receipt of that extension, so it's in the minutes.
No.
I'll make that motion that they grant us an extension till September 30th, 2023. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Yeah.
And then I think we need to have a discussion about when we want to schedule
the beginning, the first set of hearings on this? Do we want to do it in August, or do we want to start after Labor Day in September?
How's that gonna affect its school schedule if we
Well-
wait till September?
Well, we're gonna do it in the evening. So I mean, I don't know what the availability is, but I would imagine if we're in the evening, it will probably it'll probably work better. I mean, I'm fine, school starts,
August 23rd.
yeah, I was gonna say, it starts in August, so unless I really think the earliest I would recommend that we start is the week of the 14th, which we do have a planning commission meeting that week. So I don't know if, you tell me, want to start in August, do we, and there's a lot of parties that have to be, involved in the scheduling, but we could look at doing the 16th and the 17th in the evening.
And then maybe pick 2 dates in September and run them by the applicants and see which one
Yeah.
works for them, and then you have to check the availability of the school anyway for those
Right,
dates.
but in my opinion, the sooner the better. We want to
Okay.
follow through with this.
Yep.
So then, why don't we look, it's a board meeting.
Yeah, the board meeting would be the 9th of August.
No, I'm looking at September,
Oh,
so
okay.
that'll be the 13th.
Yep.
We don't have planning commission, so we could do, the 19th and the 20th of September. I guess we could also do maybe the 6th or 7th.
I won't be here for the 6th or 7th.
Well, then that's not an option.
Just so you're aware.
We need the zoning officer for this.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
just making you aware, I'm
Right.
Yeah, we want to coordinate this with Steve Hoffman.
Well,
We don't
right.
have, we don't have the video capability. I mean, he's going to have to be there in person almost.
We need him in person for
Yeah.
this, and I know he'll be there.
Yep.
So, do we want to look that, Ryan, what about the 20th and the 21st?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. It's just that Labor Day week, I won't be here. It's a wedding.
That's okay. The 6th is my wedding anniversary, so I'm not sure my wife wants me to spend it in a conditional
She doesn't want to come to
use
the conditional use hearing?
It's all about togetherness, right?
So I'll circulate these dates. We'll, once we get them solidified, then we'll advertise.
16th and 17th,
August 16th and 17th.
and 20th and 21st of September, or
Okay, what again are we talking?
16th, possible dates, 16th and 17th of August, or September 20th and 21st.
Perfect.
And then those will be advertised, of course. And the notice will be posted here. It'll be posted on the website, and we'll make sure to announce it as well at the next board meeting.
Okay.
That is,
We should have a motion as to establishment or
a motion. You should have a motion authorizing me to advertise for the conditional use hearing on either August 16th and August 17th, or September 20th and September 21st.
so moved.
Do I have a second? I'll second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Ayes have it.
And then,
Okay.
I think I've covered just about everything other than fire company funding.
Yep, well, that's next on the list.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, will we have all the information to our attorney that was requested under the right to know prior to the meeting?
Yes. Yeah, we have gathered the information. At this point, it needs to be assembled and sent out. I would imagine that we'll have it out to him probably early next week. Yep.
All right, next item, the fire company funding. We had our meeting last night, and it was pretty productive. We talked about a lot of different things. The 4 steps that they want to go through, the things that need to be addressed. We talked about a lot of different possibilities as far as some kind of pay for some of the people on the staff. That's all going to have to be figured in. We talked about the new apparatus that they're looking to purchase, which will all have to be figured into that. It's just at the beginning phase right now. We talked for about an hour and a half on it, and I thought it was a good meeting. A lot of involvement. I'm assuming Rob will probably get back to us within maybe 2 months with a rough draft.
Yes, once they have it done for budget.
Yeah, and we wanted to get everything done by the end of November for everybody's budget. So that's where we stand on that. We asked Mr. Barton if there was anything the state could help us with, or help them with, and he gave you that you already had. You said you had that list of
I have something.
grant.
Yeah, but he said that's an updated one.
Were you planning to go to that grant writing thing that they're having?
Probably
Up at
not.
Schuylkill?
Yeah.
I know you said with the shop and that
Yeah.
stuff, I wasn't sure.
I know.
Were you planning
I
on
know
going
Jared
there?
went to the one over at Cabela's.
It's up at school.
Yeah, well, they had the
campus.
one at Cabela's last month, and Jared and Amy and Monica went to that one.
Okay.
We'll talk about it.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because it's like 1:30 or.
Yeah, there was
1:30
other
to
stuff
2:30 or
too,
something
but-
like that.
Yeah, because I know it had even stuff in, like, the one book had stuff in that even relates to the township.
Yeah, there's a lot of different options there, but the one thing is, if you guys know anybody that's willing to serve on the fire company, they're looking for people. I mean, nieces, nephews, sons, daughters, you know, it's tough to get people for coverage. So, we're gonna help them any way we can.
The only thing I can say about the fire company is this is the beginning of the 3rd quarter, so we will be distributing the contributions to the fire company tonight.
Okay. And what's this here we got? Anything?
This has to be signed by you. We approve this. This is this plan that we have. So I just put it here so we don't forget it.
Oh,
Give it to
okay.
Scott.
All right, yep. Any other comment for the fire company? Nope. It's a work in progress. We'll keep on it. All right. Any other concerns? No? All right, well then I'd like to make a motion that we pay the bills. Do I have a second? All in favor say aye. Aye. Ayes have it. And I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session. Do I have a second? All in favor say aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Thank you very much, folks. I hope Mr. Barton was informative for you. Feel free to reach out to him. Right? Thank you.